7-yard line. That's a great call. Play fake. Plummer will put it up. Throws over the middle. Poole, touchdown. Quick flag.
3rd down and 5. Levitt swings it to Scatterboom. Scatterboom breaks defenders. Here he goes again. Scatterboom is the running back, and he is immediately met in the backfield, runs through the contact, and then throws a shoulder for good measure.
This defense here. That is true. High in the air. Right center field. Brandon Compton. Welcome to 2025. Today. Just run the other way. Still going back. Got the drag. Walks up and down.
Edwards pulls off and buries it. Richardson drives out for Robbie Ryan. Hurt 3 right on the money.
Takes a shot for Darby. Flag out. Doesn't matter. Touchdown.
What is up, my Pitchfork Lunch peeps? Ooh, memento. Here we go. What is up, my Pitchfork Lunch peeps? Man, wrong studio there. Yes, welcome on into Spicy Taco Tuesdays edition of Pitchfork Lunch. Yes, I am Michael Carrottenuto at Diablo005_ on X, artist formerly known as the Twitter. You know it, you love it. You can check out the show live there every day, Monday through Friday, 12 to 1. And guess what, Pitchfork Lunchers? You can also go to the wonderful world of the good old IG and check it out there. All you got to do is go to michael.carrottenuto.5. So yes, dot between first and last name, then a .5, and then bam, there you go. You can check us all live there. Again, hit me up with comments, all that good stuff. And last but not least, of course not least, maybe most importantly, go to YouTube, guys. You can watch live on YouTube. I mean, it's crazy. I know, right? Absolutely crazy. You can watch live on YouTube. And because you can watch live and also subscribe, because you have missed a plethora of phenomenal con reviews, whether it be coaches, players, voices, insiders, alum, phenomenal alum, lots of alum, generations of different alum from this phenomenal institution that we call Arizona State University. So yes, I got to get some more softball alum on too, as I say that, I think. But anyway, yeah, so again, go to YouTube. You see my name, Michael Carrottenuto, but it's at M as in Michael, V as in Victory, C as in Champ, 005 at MVC005 on YouTube, and subscribe, because you can get all caught up. And when I say all caught up, I'm happy you're here. Yes, Forks up to that. But shame on you. Where have you been? Is what I'm going to say. But that's why I got you covered, because you can go to YouTube, and all you have to do is go to YouTube. You see my name, Michael Carrottenuto, but my page is at M as in Michael, V as in Victory, C as in Champ, 005 at MVC005 on YouTube. And subscribe, like I said, and then you can binge watch season 1. Like I was saying, get caught up. That's why I said, where have you been? Keep watching season 3, binge watch season 2. Yes, keep watching season 3. And then as we wrap up this season and then get into season 4, you'll be all caught up. So again, with a lot of just phenomenal guests and just everything going on here around ASU. So yes, Sun Devil Athletics. But yeah, again, It's at M as in Michael, V as in Victory, C as in Champ 005 at MVC005 on YouTube, and subscribe away. So yes, you guys know we're going to lead with this. It was another Territorial Cup battle. It was hate night and getting ready for it because coming off the series win versus Utah, they took 2 out of 3. Absolutely beautiful. Last night, taking on the Cats, and the freshman pitcher got to start, Austin Musso, and again, looked good. He did give up 3 home runs. They were all solo shots. We'll hear from Coach Bloomquist about that. But the Cats, unfortunately, end up winning 5-3. So 3-2 though in the series. Yes, the Devils did win the series, so forks up to that, as they should. As they should. But they do win the series, like I said, 3-2. But yes, 5-3 was the final last night. Arizona got 2 solo shots in the second, 1 solo shot in the third. The Devils got 1 back in the third, and then the Devils got a 2-run jack from who else? One of the captains, New Contratus, obviously. Both him and Sean Fitzpatrick, pardon me, team captains voted on by the team. We learned that earlier in the season. Played it for you here on Pitchfork Lunch. Again, if you missed it, you know where to go. Subscribe and watch away. So yeah, I mean, it's one of those things where, but Musso again battled. I mean, he had 4 strikeouts. He struck out 4, but no walks. And yes, I know but you'll hear from Coach Bloomquist. Actually, would rather not give up walks. And yeah, solo shots. Again, he said usually they're not going to beat you, but it did go 11 innings. Yes, we got bonus Territorial Cup rivalry. Can't stand each other, disdain for each other, but respect for each other. So yeah, it's crazy because Arizona got 2 in the top of the 11th. The Devils, 3 runs, 7 hits, 2 errors. Cats 5 runs, 9 hits, no errors. Devils 10 left on base, Cats 7. And again, there was earlier in the game. Again, and not easy to do. Both teams had bullpen games. You're seeing multiple pitchers, but they I mean, you look at the battle. I mean, nobody scored in the first. I already told you. The Cats got 2 in the top of the second. ASU didn't score. Both the Cats and the Sun Devils got 1 in the third. And then 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th innings, scoreless from both teams. I mean, pitching there, somebody might give up a walk or a hit, Ron, but just with strikeouts, I mean, Easton Barrett came in, pitched well. Alex Overbay. Wasn't after that. Then Eli Buxton pitched well. Sean Fitzpatrick, I mean, it was just a phenomenal phenomenal outing. It was 3 up, 3 down, all Ks. And then, who also did that? Derek Schieffer comes in after him. He went 2 innings, but his first, he had 4 Ks. But yeah, when he came in, 3 up, 3 down, all Ks, absolutely beautiful. Um, 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 yeah, so it was, pardon me, I was just looking at notes. I know that's terrible. Yeah, so pretty tough there. But yeah, so new Contradas, by the way. So like I said, no runs for either team, 4th through 7th innings, and the top of the 8th. Obviously, team down south gets none. The Devils get the 2-run jack from new Contradas. It was 11th of the year. And he tied it up at 3 there in the bottom of the 8th. Again, they had a chance there in the 9th to get it done. In the 10th, or the runners left on base, but in the 10th, neither team scores either. In the 11th, Arizona gets 2. Again, there was a little bit of a tough error committed late, but nonetheless. And then in the bottom of the 11th, the ASU chance to tie it up. It was there or win it again, but just Garrett Hicks able to finish the game for the Cassie pitched the last 3 innings, and just giving up the 2 hits. He had 3 Ks, walked 1. But yeah, it was again, just which one? Awesome crowd, record student attendance as well. 2 last night. Forks up to the students for getting out there, and yeah, so that's, my friends, absolutely awesome. Yeah, so again, just absolutely awesome. Game, they battled, not the result of awesome, as you know, pitchfork lunchers, but I mean, even Landon Harrison last night, he finished 1 for 5. He also had a walk. And he was coming up and he just got under the ball just a teeny bit. So that was kind of that was a tough one. But yeah, they got under some of the pitches. But we'll hear from New Contradas, the captain, again after a tough one. But again, 3-2 against that team down south this year, so absolutely huge. We'll hear from him. Also, softball guys, like I said tonight, they are taking on Grand Canyon Crosstown Rivals at 7:00 tonight, as I mentioned to you yesterday. And again, coming off, just a gritty, just challenging. And again, it comes down to wins. And this team has won an awful lot. I mean, they're 31-13, kids. 5-10 in conference play. That's tough. Again, they dropped their last two. Took the first one against ranked UCF. Was it 7-1? 7-1, yeah, on last Friday, and then they dropped Saturday's game 8-1. That was tough, and then Sunday 4-3, which again, that chance in the bottom of the seventh to win that game is again hanging right there. And man, Katie Chester almost delivered a oh man, no, that was I think it was Katie Chester. It was Emily Shep. So yeah, Emily Shep, pardon me, almost delivered a a dinger away from Coach Bartlett yesterday. But they are taking on Grand Canyon now tonight, who's another top 25 team, 19 or 24, depending on where you look. So they have a chance to, again, beat another ranked team. And then they head to Houston this weekend. And inevitably on the road, always a little bit of a challenge. But it is one at a time. But I'm saying from a standpoint of you can build, obviously, huge momentum beating Grand Canyon. But then you got to go to Houston and sweep Houston, because you do sweep those. Now you are still below 500 in conference, but you are 8-10 now in conference play. And then, you'd be 8-10 in conference play. And then you host number 1 Texas Tech the weekend after that. Obviously, like I said, hosting at Farrington. Guys, you got to get out there. Again, be loud, make it difficult for their pitcher, their team, just in general. But yeah, Texas Tech number 1 coming into Farrington. So yes, 24th, 5th, and 6th of April. And 7 p.m., 3 p.m., and 1 p.m. Saturday's game will be, or actually Friday night and a Saturday afternoon, both on ESPN2. Huge national get, which we know, again, the number 1 team comes in here, but they're not going to put them on if they were playing a team that, wasn't also ranked and, didn't have what the Devils have and they're working on. I mean, Sam Swan talked about it yesterday, 2 home runs, responsible for all 3 runs against UCF on Sunday. And I mean, just the kids on a tear could definitely be the could have been the national player of the week, but she's having a month to where she could be the national player of the month. And I said that Chris, the phenomenal SID for softball, put out showing just what her numbers have been and just what she's doing. Also just a hell of a job, obviously, behind the plate too. So that's what a national player of the month looks like. I stand by that. But again, need to take care of business tonight. You get a top 25 win. That's huge. And then if you go into Houston and you sweep Houston, he said 8-10 in conference play, starting to look towards postseason, starting to look, it's getting it in. Then, like I said, then you have number one coming in here in Texas Tech. But let's I will focus on their softball team, by the way. I'm sure you're like, hey, Michael, what is their record? How are they number 25? Yeah, they're 41-4, kids, and they're 14-2 in the WAC conference play. They are 28-3 at home. They've only played 10 games on the road, but those 10 games, they're 9-1, and then they're undefeated 4-0 on neutral sites. They've won 4 in a row. I'm trying to look for common opponents. USD, Montana, no. North Florida, no. Santa Barbara, no. And then Montana, Minnesota. We did beat Minnesota. They also beat Minnesota 6-0 back in the end of February. Bakersfield too. They beat Bakersfield 13-5. Wisconsin, we also beat, but they beat Wisconsin 9-8 as well. So again, common opponents there. Yes, pitching will be different, but you can see them against common opponents, which is always good. And then in the San Diego Classic, they beat Wisconsin. They beat Notre Dame 4-2 as well in the San Diego Classic, and then they beat USD. They beat Wisconsin 2-1. They played them a second time in 10 innings on the greatest day of March 5th. Hello. All right. This team started 24-0. Their first loss was to number 21 Oklahoma State, who beat them 10-5. But yeah, if I'm right, that's 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25 and 0. Sorry, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30. I take it back. They started 30-0 before they lost to Oklahoma State. They also lost to Arizona 9-5 on March 24th. Yeah, so they lost on March 17th to Oklahoma State. Then a week later, they lost to Arizona 9-5, or pardon me, the team down south. And then that's it. I mean, they've been just cruising. Utah State. They did lose to Nevada in one of their conference games. They lost 2 to Nevada, actually. 4-3 both times on the third and the fourth. And then they won 4-, or then – oh, that was – yeah, they won 4-3. They beat Nevada in the first game, and then they lost 4-3. So every game had a 4-3 score, but they dropped the last 2. Then they turn around. They beat Fresno State 4-1, 6-0. And then they took on Boise State. They won 9-4, 6-1. And now they will travel to Tempe. Wow, it's going to be on AZ Family Sports, by the way, 3TV, and the Mountain West Network as well. So, again, 7 p.m. at Farrington. And, yeah, this is you look at stat-wise, too, what this team has done. And they have co-leaders in home runs. Jada Cooper and Trinity Martin each have 12. Emily Gonzalez has hit 8. Both Tinley Lucas and Alina Satcher have hit 6. Addison Shiflett and Ellie Pond have both hit 5. And then you got a few at 2, 4 players at 2. So they've hit 62 home runs. They've only given up 24. Batting average-wise, let's see. Well, of the everyday starters, Jada Cooper batting 381. Mackenzie Nolan batting 362. Reagan Holtworth batting 359. Yes, younger sister of Riley. But yeah, she's batting 359. Alina Satcher's batting 342. You got Sydney McCray at 340. Addison Shiflett at 328. Tinley Lucas at 321. Ellie Pond at 310. And then Emily Gonzalez at 305. But as a team, they're hitting 325. So, yeah. But yeah, Cooper, like I said, batting 381. She's driven in 44, scored 20, 4 doubles, no triples, but like I said, 12 home runs to co-lead the team there. Yeah, so, and then pitching-wise, you look at Natalie Fritz, who is 8-0. She's 8-0 with a 1.16 ERA. She's appeared in 15 games, started 11. But yeah, she's pitched 48 1/3 innings, given up 39 hits, 10 runs, 8 of those earned, 45 Ks to just 7 walks, 6 doubles, 1 triple, 3 homers. But their big ace, who has had who has appeared in 31 games but started 15, is Oakley Vickers, who is 11-1 overall, guys, with a 1.56 ERA. She's in on 31 appearances. She's pitched 80 2/3 innings, given up 56 hits, 21 runs, 18 of those were earned, 89 Ks to 15 walks. So just about a 6-1 K to walk margin, which, as you guys know, in the wonderful sports and bat and ball sport, but a 6-1 margin, strikeouts, you're pretty much striking out 2 straight innings of players before they're getting a walk. She's given up 1 double, 1 triple. She has given up 8 home runs, as has Taryn Batterton, who's 9-1 overall. You listen to the ERAs, and it's, 3 under, and then Abby Jones. So I said, okay, Natalie Fritz, who's 8-0 with a 1.16 ERA. Oakley Vickers, who's 11-1 with a 1.56 ERA. And then you have Abby Jones, who is 7-2 with a 1.98 ERA. Taryn Batterton is 9-1 overall in 24 appearances. She started 15 games, but Batterton has a 2.56 ERA. So, and Batterton and Vickers both giving up 8 home runs, but the team's, again, giving up 24 to opponents giving up 62 to them. So, It'll be interesting if we see who we see on the mound tonight or who starts. I mean, I want to say probably Vickers would start, but it could be Fritz. I know that's really helpful, right? I sound like I went to broadcast school at the school down south. So anyway, hey, we're going to take a quick break. When we get back, though, we're going to shift gears. We're going to hear from New Contratus again after last night's game. We hit that again, 5-3. Tough Territorial Cup battle against that team down south, but it is still hashtag our state. Don't forget it. But they are 3-2 against them. They won the 5-game series this year, 3-2. I mean, definitely should have been 4-1. Took 2 down in Tucson. Arizona took 1 down there, and yes, of course, the 1 here. But still, it is hashtag our state. Coach Bloomquist, and yeah, again, love what this team's doing. And offensively, like I said, it was just under some little bit. I mean, they, 7 for 37 last night. That's tough. I mean, Arizona wasn't much better. They were 9 for 41. But again, these battles happen, rivalry games, everything. So, but we'll step aside. We'll hear from New Contratus. Then we'll hear from Coach Bloomquist. Just recapping the game last night. Where the team's at, because when you look at it, my wonderful friends, they are now 26-12, 9-7 in conference play. Again, that doesn't count against conference, but it counts overall. It's huge, and obviously, when you're thinking of postseason, and Big 12 tournament seeding and all. I mean, overall wins, but 9-7 in conference play. Again, about 500, loving that. 19-6 at home, 7-3 away, 0-3 on neutral site. And I mean, you look at, the 7-3 away. I mean, one of those wins was at Oklahoma, and a 2-game series, and it should have been 2. I mean, again, coulda, shoulda, woulda. I know it doesn't count. Tip the cap to OU. Boomer Sooner got the win, but if you watch that game, guys, and you saw it, I mean, again, for it to be torn away there in the bottom of the 9th, and again, Sooners got clutch hits when they were desperate for it. I mean, needed it, yes, very desperate for it, absolutely. But yeah, one at OU. I mean, one at OU, one at Kansas State, but they won that series 2-1, just like they won the Texas TCU series, their opening Big 12 series, right before that, as they lost 5-4 in the first game, but then won 15-8 and 4-0 against the number 17 team in the country at that time, taking the last 2. So took the first 2 from K-State, dropped the last one. And then West Virginia, that was tough. And then they had a loss at in Tucson, the middle game, but took the series to the team down south. And then so 3 losses on the road, which would have been in Tucson. There's 1. West Virginia was at home. At Kansas State. And at Oklahoma. That's 3. So, yeah, I mean, you look at that, guys, and what they've done. So, 7-3 on the road, loving it. You're 26-12. And like I said, they're at BYU this weekend. So, you have a chance to – it'll be tough. Again, it's a tough atmosphere there. Oh, actually, that's Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Because, yes, as you guys know, I've told you Pitchfork Lunchers many times, BYU, they do not have any competitions on Sunday. None whatsoever at all. So, which would have been very interesting. Very, very interesting if the women's basketball team would have made the Final Four and made the championship game, like, yeah, there's TV and everything in that. So that would have been very interesting. Yeah, so that's what that. But we're going to step aside, hear from New Contradas when we get back, and then we'll hear from Coach Bloomquist as well, and talk about that, and then talk a little spring ball too, guys. A lot of action. Spring ball wrapping up. Fan Fest this Friday. Going to have a huge banner for it. Well, not banner, but yeah, tomorrow you'll see. But yeah, we'll talk a little spring ball too, but we'll take a quick break, and we shall have more Pitchfork Lunch coming right up. All right, back here on Pitchfork Lunch. I'm Michael Caratino at Diablo005 underscore on X, formerly known as Twitter. For those of you wondering what's up with the new X address, well, guess what? Her handle, I should say. Yes, the at Diablo00 got hacked. Can't have anything nice. No, I didn't click on anything dumb. So, yeah, I know stuff going around. I didn't click on anything dumb. Not trying to find anything dumb. But, yeah, so unfortunately that Diablo00 got hacked, and I think it finally got suspended. So that's good because I don't want you guys getting any crap from me, and not that I believe me, I would tell you here if I was clicking on it. But yes, we'll hear from New Contradas first, and I just want to put this up there. That's how it is. 3-2. We won the series. That's right. That's right. You know it. You know it. We also have a little bit of this. Absolutely. Oh yeah. But we love serving Wilbur's head up on a sparky platter. Huh? You guys all for that, right? You love serving Wilbur's head on a sparky platter. It doesn't get any better than that, right, my Pitchfork Lunchers? I mean, oh, it's yeah, there it is. It's absolutely beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. In the most respectful way. Again, can't stand them. We'll obviously respect because we know that, yes, unfortunately, Sun Devils, they do get some talent down there. They have good coaches down there. I mean, still not Sun Devils, so still not at the same level. But you guys get what I'm getting at. Yeah. So anyway, I kid because I care, and I want to beat the snot out of that school and everything. But yeah, let's get to it. We're going to hear from Willie Bloomquist first again after last night's tough 5-3 loss. But man, like I said, I know when certain coaches talking, it's like, yeah, not that you couldn't play for him, but man, wanting to come play, obviously for Coach Bloomquist, this staff, but like if you can't play for him, I do not know who you can play baseball for. And a few minutes ago, when Pat Murphy was here, obviously Murph coached Willie. But yeah, he was, and I've told this you guys, I think I may have mentioned this in Pitchfork once, but he was one of my very first coach interviews when I was in school here at the phenomenal Arizona State University. Got to go talk to Coach Murphy. So it was awesome. Again, would have loved to have played for him. If I could have ever hit the ball, fielding, throwing, yes, I could do. I know, might shock a lot of you. No, but throwing, fielding, yes. Getting hit, getting on base, stealing bases. But yeah, being able to consistently hit the ball. And again, I went up there. I literally was like, I heard who did it years ago? Somebody was saying like they were comparing A-Rod. Real quick, side note here, A-Rod in the batter's box compared to Manny Ramirez in the batter's box. And when Willie Bloomquist talks about, and I'm saying this because when Willie talks about, you talk about hitting in this day and age, being prepared, all that stuff. Like it's one of those things where you're like, oh yeah, you have to be prepared. But with hitting, kind of the accountability, but yes, I have a plan, but the see ball, hit ball theory. So me hitting, and again, but the comparison I was going to make is I heard somebody did years ago, and I'm sorry I'm forgetting where I heard it, who I heard it, but props to you. I give you credit. If you hear this, you can message me, and I will give you credit. Not trying to steal anything. Obviously, like I'm saying, I did not come up with this, but the difference between Alex Rodriguez in the batter's box and Manny Ramirez back in the time of the batter's box. And the thing for A-Rod was like, okay, he just threw me, a changeup and it's a 2-1 count. And he's doing this and this is going to happen. And okay, so fastball came this percentage of time and the curveball came this percentage of the time. And then a changeup came back-to-back percentage. And then the pitch comes and it's like all of a sudden the pitch is coming in and, it's a slider and he barely fouls it off. He's like, I didn't think of the slider. And then it says now Manny Ramirez in the batter's box as he's, crushing and raking and stuff. And he's like, ooh, Fruit Loops. Do I want Fruit Loops? I love Fruit Loops. I love Fruit Loops. Ooh, what about Captain Crunch? Captain Crunch. Oh, and then he goes, oh, pitch. And he swings and just buries the ball. Like, I'm not saying it was like that, but whoever did that was a very funny comparison. I'm not going to say like it was a bit on their show, not really a bit, but just like a segment of their show, and they were talking about it, and just like all of A-Rod thing. It was hilarious. But for Willie and this team, again, we're going to hear from New Contratus, who again took, like I'm saying, accountability. And that guy, again, he, being voted a team captain, all he's had to battle through pretty much just, still being able to get the bat in the lineup and play second base. He's a designated hitter last night. So, I mean, just being a DH, and again, just showing that grit and that, what like Coach Bloomquist talks about, accountability and, being a Sun Devil and that toughness. And again, yes, being smart about it, as we'll hear from Coach, but after we hear from New. But yes, that is that. So, yes, let's hear from Coach Bloomquist. Or no. Yeah. No, we're going to hear from New first. Sorry, we'll hear from New first, and then we'll hear from Coach Bloomquist. But yes, here is New Contratus after last night's 5-3. Again, tough Territorial Cup loss, but they won the season series 3-2. And I will get that answer. People say, oh, what have you done for it? It doesn't matter. Won the series. And if you win the series, you advance. So that's what I'm talking about, team down south people. But yes, here is New Contratus after last night's 5-3 loss to Arizona.
I mean, hard fought game. Fans were into it. Take away some content.
I mean, we just got to come up big in big spots. Today I had a lot of chances to do damage with runners on base. Came a little short. Had runners on first and second. No outs. Can't swing the changeup down and in to roll into a double play. So, taking this one kind of hard. Obviously, means a lot to the fans. We did fight. Pitchers threw the heck out of the ball. I just got to come up bigger in big spots.
Runners, you guys went 1 for 10 today with runners in scoring position. What needs to change down the line to have that be better?
I mean, I think we just need to understand that the pressure's on the pitcher and not us. I think sometimes I get over anxious in those situations, swinging at pitchers' pitches. I just got to stick to my approach and just be better.
What was your assessment of Musso tonight? Obviously, a freshman making only his second start in kind of a big environment like this. Pitch the ball, do the ball well, only 3 hits, but those 3 hits were all solo shots.
I mean, he's awesome. He battles, he competes up there. That's all you can ask for. He's going to be really big for us down the stretch. The future's better for him.
Obviously, enough outcome y'all wanted to run game time on Monday. What was that like being Territorial Cup match? The fans involved, record-breaking student attendance. What was that feeling like?
I mean, it was cool. Yeah, obviously, game time home run is awesome. But I was, like I said, I got to come up there bigger in big spots. So.
Dude, you kind of talk about playing despite not being 100% right now. Willie kind of talked about last week having you on and off in these mid-weeks, giving you the rest when you need it, but obviously you're still out there playing your hardest every day.
I mean, I'd put my body on the line for these boys any day. So, just trying to do as much as I can. Just taking it day by day.
How are you feeling physically?
Feeling good. Just obviously that the hamstring lingering a little bit, but other than that, I feel good.
Dominic Longo in 2 for 5 today. He's kind of started to show signs of breaking out of the slump. What are you seeing from him?
I mean, I'm seeing good at bats. He's hitting the ball hard. He could have easily had another hit, but right at the center fielder. But it's awesome to see him having some success.
Willie talked about maybe some fatigue starting to set in with you guys. 6 games in 7 days. Do you kind of get that sense of maybe why the offense may not have been performing to its normal standard?
I mean, it's a grind. 6 games in 7 days is pretty hard, but we just got to come mentally with it every day. It's a grind. It's no excuse.
You guys are used to it, obviously playing. I mean, they had to deal with it too, but playing a bullpen game now. So, I mean, like you said, some of the innings early, you're saying come up, but you guys seem to be making good contact. But what's the communication like between innings? Obviously, as different pitchers are coming in.
I'm not too sure about that. But they all came in and threw the heck out of the ball. So, I feel like they did a really good job today.
Sorry, I meant for you guys offensively to deal with a bullpen game. Yeah, okay. So like with each other, and now the diet, like you said, you're seeing things. Pitchers obviously throwing different stuff. You're prepared. But just what's the challenge in that, and what are you guys talking about when they're bringing in new pitchers?
I mean, it's tough facing a new pitcher every inning, but it's the same thing as seeing the same guy. You should have the same approach. The coaches do a good job of letting us know as soon as they can on who's coming in, and kind of tell us their stuff, what they have. So,
You've got some important series against some highly ranked opponents coming up. What's the mindset heading down the stretch and towards the end of the season?
I mean, it's just to compete. We know we can compete with those guys. We're just going to, kind of tough past week, but it's in a rearview mirror. So we're just going to look ahead and play our best ball when it counts.
Any more questions?
Had our opportunities, just didn't get it done. Bottom line, no excuses. We had several opportunities to cash in runs. We just couldn't come up with a big hit again. And Moose did a good job getting us started. Only runs he gave up were via the long ball. Fell behind on the ones that he gave up the home runs. Had to put fastballs down the middle, and they punished it. And then the 0-2 pitch was needs to be better there. But other than that, I thought Moose threw the ball pretty well, and for the most part, all the pitchers threw the ball really well tonight. Just offensively, with the wind blowing the way it was, to only put up 3 runs was disappointing.
1 for 10 with runners in scoring position tonight. What do you want to change with that? In terms
more
of
hits with runners in scoring position, and more clutch base hits with runners in scoring position.
Is there anything in the process
something going to change?
We're gonna have to look at something because it's been pretty dismal the past 5 or 6 games. I would say it's been really, really disappointing.
Speak on Muso's performance. Obviously, those home runs were all solo homers, kind of limited to walk set up the issue, single one. Not spoken that several times. How important is it that those strikes and those homers not be double, 2 home runs, 3 home runs, but minimize the damage?
Usually solo home runs don't beat you unless you give up a ton of them, but he gave up three solos tonight. And again, those were all behind an account, 3-1 pitches that had to be grooved. And, I'd rather that than walk the yard and give up runs that way. So again, that's not what beat us tonight. What beat us tonight is we just couldn't get it going offensively.
You mentioned the wind. How much of an effect did that play in today's game?
None. I mean, we didn't. I think News ball may have been a little wind aided. That was probably really the only ball of the night that I think the wind affected, and it favored us. But with the wind blowing out that hard, and we just didn't do much, to take advantage of it. And that's not that we're trying to hit the ball up in the wind, but just good solid contact should get you more base hits than that. But bottom line, we just disappointing on the offensive front.
Can you talk about some of the at-bats late? It felt like a few guys were just trying to do too much to play. Landon took some uncharacteristic swings and balls out of the zone.
Yeah, I think, guys were potentially letting the emotions of the game get the best of them, and had a tremendous crowd here tonight, over 6,000 people, and big student section that we were grateful they came out. We just put them to sleep, unfortunately, on the offensive side of the ball, which was disappointing. And, I think guys may have been trying a little bit too hard and up and down the lineup. That could be a reason why, but, end of the day, we got to do a better job than that.
I guess on the pitching side, a lot of guys, you were able to get an inning of work, a couple innings of work. A lot of guys who struggled their last time out. How encouraging was them to see them, bounce back tonight?
Like I said, the pitching was great. I have no issues with that. Guys threw the ball really well. Easton Barrett came in and had a nice inning of work. OV got himself in a little trouble, but pitched his way out of it. Bucks threw the ball well. Fitzy struck out the side. Shave threw it outstanding. Linder had some hiccups and was not as sharp as he's been the last 2 or 3 outings. I guess that would be kind of the only blemish, really. And Finn Edwards threw the ball great when he came in. So, when you have that many arms, to have most of them throw it outstanding, again, keep you in the game and limit to 5 runs over 11 innings. So those are games we got to win.
Can you kind of speak on that? I don't know if it was an error after the pickoff move, maybe pass the ball, trying to pick up after went down the chance?
Yeah, I mean, they were. It was the right situation for those guys to put it on. It was something that Rolly put on with their pitchers, and they had squared the safety squeeze there, I think 2 or 3 times in a row, and just something to make sure that runner at third tries to stay close. I thought it was a great call. We just whiffed on it over at third base, and the thought process was right. We just got to catch the ball.
This is the end of a really long stretch. Do you feel like the slow bats tonight were a result of that and maybe the guys were tired, or just wasn't working tonight?
I'm not using that as an excuse. We've given them cage days the past 3 days. We haven't been on the field. We're trying to pull the workload back on it, knowing that we have had a stretch of games here, but that's not an excuse. We're just not very good with guys in scoring position right now.
New Contradas in the DH spot tonight. He had the game time home run, yet he still put a lot of the blame on himself. What did you see from him tonight?
Well, he had a double and a home run. Accounted for 2 of the 3 runs that we scored, and New's a leader. He's going to put it on his shoulders. He had an opportunity there late to push a run across with the big hit, and he's feeling that pressure of being the leader and being a captain on our team, that he wants to get it done. And right now he's out there playing on one leg and doing everything he can for us. So I don't put the last person I put blame on is New Contradas.
You talked about fatigue, and we just talked about it right now. But I guess in a way, with this stretch ending, and getting some days off until the next game. Is that kind of maybe good in a way that these guys
Again,
get reset?
I'm not going to use fatigue as an excuse. Like it's not. This is baseball. Baseball is a daily sport. Again, these kids have aspirations of playing at the next level. If they think this is a lot, wait till you get to the next level. You're going to play 142 games in 150 days. Come talk to me then about being tired. Tired's an excuse, and we're not going to use it.
Coach, against the lefty pitcher of Arizona starting tonight, you went with your lefty catcher, Brody Briggs. What was the decision behind that?
Well, the decision behind it was that kid's an opener. We didn't think he was going to go any more than 2 or 3 innings. That he hasn't started a game to my knowledge, and if he has, he hasn't gone more than 2 innings. So we assumed they were going to use a variety of arms tonight, kind of like we had. I mean, that's our job to look at who they used over the weekend and who they've used in the past. I mean, we didn't anticipate Morris going 5 or 6 innings against us. That wasn't going to be the plan with him. I didn't think so. He went through the lineup once and was able to get 3 innings. If you really want to take a deep dive at the numbers, lefties hit better than righties offhand.
You've got a few big matchups over the next few weeks coming up. BYU, UCF, and maybe a couple. What's the approach heading into those series?
We're just turn the page on today after this and get ready for BYU. We're not looking past that. They have a very capable team that's coming off sweeping Houston. They got some nice arms and they got some kids that can swing the bats pretty well. So we're going to be dealing with some weather there. Looks like it's going to be cold. We haven't been really in the cold yet this year, so that'll be a challenge for our guys. We have to figure out ways to try to win games on the road.
Any more questions?
And you heard him right there. I mean, Coach, like I said, and again, it wasn't anything, believe me, because I've talked to you. Well, a lot of you pitchfork lunchers know that I have many of post-game pressers and coaches of, different sports have answered questions, and some are ridiculous, and I get it, and that's why they give, at least a 10-minute cooling down period. Sometimes it might be, they might not be in for 15 minutes, but you just hear the tone in his voice dropping to Arizona, just not acceptable. Which again, yes, I know they feel the same way, but up here it should be that way in the dominance of baseball. The dominance of, which the tradition which baseball's had up here. Yeah, you understand it. And Coach, being an alum, playing in it, but like in his voice, so my point is not using the fatigue as an excuse. It's they want to play at the next level, and you get what he's saying, and it's just, the way the questions, are answered. And like I said, nobody's thrilled after losing a game anyway, but to your rivals, yes, you did win the season series 3-2, would have been much better 4-1, or of course, as 5-0, as I feel like that. But that being said, and then it's that thing, but he's like, you're not going to fatigue. And so we'll see if it's a little colder in Provo this weekend, as like you said, they're headed there. Again, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, so I'm guessing they'll leave tomorrow. But you flush that, a little extra motivation, and go beat BYU. See if you can get if they can sweep BYU, which I will give you standings in 1 second because I totally forgot. We'll end on that. They're 26-12, so they would be 29-12 overall, and then they would be 12-7 in conference play. Now, you look at where they are in the Big 12. So you have Kansas at 12-3. They have not played yet. I'm losing my mind. softball played Kansas. So Kansas is 12-3 in Big 12 play. They're up top. Both West Virginia and UCF are 10-5. Now you are 1-2 against West Virginia, so that's tough. You need to take on UCF. Then you have ASU 9-6, as they are fourth in the Big 12. Then you have TCU, who they took 2 of 3 from us at 8-7. Baylor, who they still need to play, is 8-7. BYU, who they will be playing, 8-7 as well. That's my point, capable-ish. K-State, who they took 2 or 3 from, is 7-8. Cincinnati, 6-9. Texas Tech 6-9. Utah 6-9, who they just took 2 out of 3 from as well. Arizona. Now Arizona's 5-10 in the Big 12, and you say, well, don't they actually have 6 losses? Because they lost those midweek games. The 2 one-offs don't count against conference play. Obviously, it's huge in the standings, and people are watching, and your rankings and standing, you're seeing that. But Arizona's 5-10 in Big 12 play, and Houston, like I said, 3-12. So Houston's struggling, but at the same time, like I said, so when you look at ASU's, so like I said, they have BYU coming up, who is 9-6, right? You got that? BYU's 8-7. 8-7. ASU's the only 9-6 team. They have BYU coming up, who is 8-7, and then after BYU, you have Baylor in Phoenix, 24th, 5th, 6th, so the last weekend of April. And Baylor, again, they are 8-7 as well. So your next 2 conference matchups, 8-7. Now it depends what they do this weekend, but again, you take 3 from BYU, who's now overall BYU's 19-16 overall. Devils 26-12. They have 26 wins, as does Kansas. Kansas 26-10. That's what I wanted to look at. Where is? They don't play Kansas. So Kansas and Arizona State get to skip each other in the regular season. So very interesting, because after UCF, you have a one-off on the way back home at Missouri. And then you host Oklahoma State May 8th, 9th, and 10th, and you're at Grand Canyon May 12th. And then Houston, you're at Houston the 14th through this. That's your last series. And again, at that point, like I said, Houston struggling. They're 3-12. You sweep Houston. I mean, you go backward. Well, no, real quick. I mean, if you say you take all 3 from BYU, it makes you 12-6, and then you have UCF after that, who's 10-5. So you take 2 out of 3 there. That makes you 14-7. And then after UCF, they have BYU, then they have Baylor. So if you take, because it's on the road, we understand that. So say you take 2 or 3 from BYU, so that makes you 11-7. Then you go and you host Baylor, who, again, 8-7. Say you take 2 or 3 from them. So now you're 13-8 after Baylor. Then you're at UCF, who, like I said, they are 10-5. So, hey, if you get, but look, you could get 3 from BYU. So let's go do this real quick. We'll end on this crazy, positive, awesome baseball note. Get out to softball tonight. I'll remind you of that. So you take 3 from BYU. That's 12-6. Then you take 3 from Baylor. That's 15-6. So then you're taking on UCF in Florida. So say, and again, if you were to get 1 one of the three, two of the three. You can get all three of the three again. But they're at a point, like I'm trying to prove to you, and then you know, Oklahoma State. Can you get 2 out of 3 at home from them? Sure. Can you go to Houston and sweep them? Yes. So they're to a point to where they can again stay in the top 4 in the Big 12 standings, because like I said, they are 4th right now. You got Kansas, West Virginia, UCF, and Arizona State. Now they obviously lost 2 or 3 to West Virginia. Still have to play UCF. Aren't playing Kansas. Took 2 out of 3 from TCU, who's behind them. Still have to play Baylor and BYU, as we know. Took 2 out of 3 from K-State. Still need to play Oklahoma State. Yeah, and Houston. So they've already. So they'll play Houston. They've already played Arizona. They've already played Utah. They skip Texas Tech, by the way, and Cincinnati. They play Oklahoma State. They played K-State. They're going to be playing BYU and Baylor. They play TCU, UCF, West Virginia, and they skip Kansas. So, yeah, it'll be interesting. Kansas has won 10 in a row, by the way. Closest one of them is BYU, has won 5 in a row now. But, again, they just have 3 against Houston, so – like I said, nonetheless, either way. But that's that. So the Devils, look, headed into a stretch. Let's go get BYU this weekend. I know it's my point. So, yes, and before we get out of here, we are going to wrap on softball. Again, 7 p.m. tonight, GCU, Farrington Stadium. Get out there. Their 24th, 25th ranked team is GCU. Talking numbers, probably see Kinsey Brown on the mound. Can Sam Swan continue this just insanity? Insanity that she's a part of. Again, 31-13 for the Devils, as Grand Canyon is 41-4, 4 whole losses this season. And again, those losses are to Oklahoma State, Arizona, and 2 to Nevada. So, yeah, those are their conference mates, I should say, or foes, Nevada. So 41-4 is where they're at. 31-13 for the Devils, as we know. But, yes, Ken – and, Sam Swan, again, has been on a freaking tear as she is batting over 400 now. She's at 414. Tanya Wendell, by the way, is still at 403, and now she's, the DH, obviously coming off the injury Coach talked about and mentioned. We know she's been out, so not in the field, but that bat at the top of the lineup, absolutely huge. She's at 403, but Swan at 414 in 116 at bats. She got 48 hits, 14 of those are doubles, 9 dingers the other day. She's driven in 37, scored 31. Her OPS is at 1.244. Tanya Wendell is at 1.210. You got Katie Chester at 1.178, and then Kaylee Pond at 1.280, and then Ashley Mejia at 1,008. So, yeah, their OPSs are sick. The bats can be there. Kenzie Brown, I'm guessing, will be on the mound tonight. So get out, Farrington, 7 p.m. Coach Bartlett, again, support this team. As they have definitely been crushing it. So, hey, but that's going to do it for today's Pitchfork Lunch, man. Again, the spring ball, we'll catch up on that more tomorrow. Apologies, we'll hear from Coach Hines Ward, receivers coach Hines Ward, and also Coach Dillingham. We'll hear from them tomorrow. But, yeah, spring ball wrapping up. Fan Fest this Friday. I've mentioned it here on Pitchfork Lunch, guys, but we'll put out more of a reminder, more all the good stuff. So yes, Fan Fest Friday, Mountain America Stadium, and yes, you're going to see a lot of interaction with the players. There's going to be again a lot out there. So again, we can talk about it with that. So that being said, yeah, that's going to do it for today. So we are out of here again. So stoked you guys were here in Pitchfork Lunch. And yes, thanks to reigning back-to-back Big 12 champs, women's volleyball. Yes, 2 years in the Big 12, 2 champs, only 2 conference losses in the regular season. Bring it, rest of Big 12. Coach Van Neal, his staff, his team, just crushing it. But thanks to, yes, women's volleyball, it is hashtag our state. Yes, even after last night's tough one, but series 3-2 in baseball. It is hashtag our state. So they always make sure I remind you guys. They reminded me that I need to remind you that it is hashtag Sun Devil State. It is our state. So yes, have a phenomenal rest of your Taco Tuesday. Hey, you know what I'm going to say. Make them spicy, man. Some jalapenos in there, maybe some cilantro, little sriracha, green chili, Frank's Red Hot, whatever you like, Tabasco, whatever you like. Just make it a little spicier, you know. I like the spicy tacos. So have a phenomenal rest of your Taco Tuesday. I'll see you tomorrow. Same bad time, same bad channel. You guys know it. Go Devils. And as always, forks up.
I went to Arizona State. Right. I'm a Sun Devil, man.
The 27-yard line. That's a great call. Play fake. Funnel will put it up. Throws over the middle. Pool touchdown. Quick flag.
3rd down and 5. Levitt swings it to Scatterboom. Scatterboom breaks defenders. Here he goes again.
Scatterboom is the running back, and he is immediately met in the backfield, runs through the contact, and then throws a shoulder for good measure.
This defense here. That is true. High in the air. Right center field. Brandon Compton. Welcome to 2025.
Edwards pulls off and buries it. Richardson drives out for Robbie Ryan. Hurt 3 right on the money.
Takes his shot for goal.